The Federal Aviation Administration has announced it will order inspections of the same type of plane engine fan blades like the one involved in the deadly Southwest plane incident. Investigators say it appears a fan blade snapped off, causing debris to hit the plane. A woman identified as 43-year-old Jennifer Reardon was partially sucked out of the plane and hit by the debris. The medical examiner ruled she died of blunt impact trauma of the head, neck, and torso. Holly Mackey, a former Miles City woman, was sitting next to the woman who died. She was actually the one who tried to hold on to the victim and get her back into the plane.
So I had clicked my seatbelt back on, and I was going to get something out of my bag, and then there was a big boom, and we were all very confused for a second, and that's when I saw Jennifer. And then, of course, quickly, I had leaned over and I grabbed onto her belt loops and her waist and wrapped my arm around her waist and tried to pull. And the little girl next to me also tried to pull with me, and we tried to pull her back in, and we couldn't. We weren't strong enough.
Mackey says she was impressed with the crew, the pilot, and how the other passengers tried to help the victim. Closer to home, 3 months after a Billings employee admitted stealing drug evidence from the police department, 3 Billings officers are being suspended for having sex with a woman on city property. Our partners at Last Best News confirmed the reports with Police Chief Rich St. John. St. John calls the officer's decision to have sex with Rollin Strizich a, quote, really bad decision. Strizich was fired at the beginning of the year after admitting she stole hundreds of pills from evidence. St. John did not identify the 3 officers, but said 2 had sex with a woman while on duty, and all 3 incidents took place on city property. The chief said one sexual encounter happened in a police car and the others happened in the basement of City Hall. The officers face up to 2 weeks of suspension without pay, but their commanders get to choose when they'll serve those suspensions. City attorneys will decide by the end of today whether to release the names of the officers. In Wyoming, the Park County School District is now just the 2nd school district in the Cowboy State to allow its teachers to carry guns in class. It sets specific guidelines and training requirements before teachers can voluntarily carry a gun. Last year, the Wyoming legislature passed a new law that gives local school boards the power to decide whether or not they want to allow teachers to carry concealed weapons. Under the new policy, teachers would have to volunteer, already be in possession of a Wyoming concealed carry permit, and would need to complete 18 hours of training. School Board Chair Kelly Simone tells Q2 the board did a great job in vetting the new policy, but it will take some time before they'll know how many teachers will choose to go through the process.
I think we're going to wait and see, who applies, how many apply, and we're going to have to proceed cautiously from there. It's the new idea in our district as far as implementing this. So I think we're going to proceed with caution and diligence, but we haven't set a quota.
A recent poll of 2,400 community members found over 70% were in favor of arming teachers.
I think that as in the community at large, there has been a rather vocal minority that is scared of this and is opposed to this policy, but I don't think they represent the majority here. I think kids in this community, growing up in this culture, I mean, most kids aren't really scared of guns. They've seen firearms before. Their parents and their family and their friends are responsible gun owners.
So far, the only other Wyoming school district to agree to arm some teachers is Evanston, Wyoming, which approved its policy last year. On to consumer news. The company that owns Herberger's will soon go through liquidation as part of its bankruptcy filing. Herberger's moved into the old Shields space at Rimrock Mall in November of 2015. Just this week, Bonton Stores announced Great American Group and Tiger Capital Group will acquire the company's assets. Herberger's also has stores in Great Falls, Havre, Butte, Kalispell, and Missoula. Employees of the Great Falls Herberger store say they were notified Tuesday the store will likely close. In a news release, Bonton's president and CEO Bill Tracy said he's disappointed after trying to find bidders to keep the stores operating. Rimrock Mall marketing director Darren Olson said he has not been told when the liquidation will happen, telling us that's up to the U.S. bankruptcy court. Meanwhile, a proposed ballot measure to increase tobacco taxes in Montana is ready for signature gathering. Initiative 185 would increase cigarette taxes in Montana by $2 a pack from the current tax of $1.70 to $3.70. Part of the money generated would fund the state's share of Medicaid expansion, which provides health coverage for 94,000 low-income Montanans. Medicaid expansion in Montana is set to expire next year, but I-185 would extend the program. Supporters must collect more than 25,000 signatures by June 22nd to qualify for the ballot. Montanans will need a real ID to board an airplane in about 2.5 years. To help state residents prepare for the change, the state is kicking off a new campaign to educate people about real ID. The Montana Motor Vehicle Division's ad campaign features famous American explorers Lewis and Clark. MSUB students came up with the idea as a way to spread the word about real IDs and to drive home the point that real IDs will be available in Montana by next January. Those new IDs will be required by October of 2020.
We want people really to know the dates so that they are not having their travel plans impacted. We also want people to know that they have a choice, as well as knowing what documents to come. Even Lewis and Clark need a real ID. Make it a little technology friendly and add some humor. So we're really excited to see this campaign that we've been working on for the last year come to fruition.
The new campaign will start running in October. You can find more information about Real ID on the DMV's website. Elsewhere, wouldn't it be nice to have a place to take a break and warm up while sledding at Pioneer Park? While it's only a theoretical project, Billings area architects squared off in a contest to design the best warming hut. Contestants were tasked with designing a movable warm space that can both beautify the park and serve as a landmark. A team of 2 from Collaborative Design Architects tied for the first place, claiming a $500 prize.
We really focused on indigenous architecture and how peoples of the plains used to erect and disassemble their dwellings.
We wanted to create kind of a modern version of the teepee, something a little bit more artful and more creative.
The winning duo says they'd love to see their design come to life at the park. And one last story before we take a break. A Korean War veteran and his wife drove away with a new car in Billings.
On behalf of all these sponsors, your fellow veterans, and support from around the country, it is my honor to present you with the keys to your new car. Thank you.
Big Sky Collision Network and State Farm Insurance partnered up to present war veteran Ron Oline and his wife Beverly with the keys. It was all possible through the National Auto Body Council's Recycled Rides program. Auto body shops, insurance companies, and other industry organizations refurbish and donate recycled vehicles to families in need. Ron and Beverly were nominated by the MSUB Foundation. Oline formerly served as post commander at the American Legion Post 111 in Custer.
We do these things, we're not expecting any reward at all. We do it because we feel that that's what God has charged us to do. And that's why we do it.